Welcome, everybody, to our Creating Kick-Ass Ads workshop. My name is Bethany Weidenhammer, and I'm joined today by Daryl Davis and Laura Cook. Laura and Daryl are going to go over the best practices for creating stellar ads for print, digital, and social, and also some tips for selling them. And then I'll take you on a tour of our site to show you how to find some of the different things that they're going to discuss. So Laura is our senior designer. She's been with Metro for 12 years now. And before she came to Metro, she was a graphic designer for two newspapers in her hometown of Buffalo, New York. So she's been in the same shoes as many of you. She's got a great appreciation for what designers on small staffs with tight deadlines can create. Daryl is our Vice President of Creative Services. He has over 30 years of experience in media and advertising, and he leads our team of art directors, designers, and copywriters in producing creative content to help publications like yours and your local advertisers all really thrive. Both of them are very involved with the newspaper associations, and you may run into Daryl at some of the conventions or seen one of Laura's presentations. I am with Metro's client services team. I've been here for 23 years. I am not qualified at all to teach you anything about creating kick-ass ads or even decent ads, but that's okay because that's why we have Laura and Daryl here. I know the ins and outs of searching MCC, and so that's what I'm going to show you. I am the one that creates the videos in our tutorial library, and if you need training on the site, I can help you with that. So this webinar will be recorded. So stay tuned tomorrow. Keep an eye on your emails. You'll get one from Zoom tomorrow afternoon. It'll have a link to the recording and some other helpful information that we'll put in there. And there is a short survey afterwards. If you can take a few minutes to fill that out, we always appreciate the feedback that you have for us. So enough introducing. Let's get to the good stuff. I'm going to pass it off to Laura.
All right, we're just gonna end our videos here to get in. All right, so hi everyone. Thank you, Bethany. Before I jump right into all the design tips that I have, and there will be a lot of them, I want to take a minute to think about who we're actually designing for. What types of businesses are advertising in your newspaper? I'd assume, if your experience is the same as mine was, that they're small businesses with tight budgets, and most have little advertising knowledge. So as designers, it's our job to create ads for them that are effective in attracting more customers. And then it's the job of the salespeople to really gain the trust of the business owners, and let them know that the designers can provide that. We all ultimately want the same goal. We want the ads to succeed in getting more business to our local shops. Here are a few typical local business ads. Most small businesses don't have a marketing vision at all or a plan for their advertising. That's our job. So they want to just maybe list all of their services or products that they provide with no real objective for the ad. And I think we should change that and encourage them to have a focus on their ads. So these two ads actually have quite a bit of space for the amount of information that they have in them, but they just lack that focus. And then, of course, we have the businesses who take out these tiny ads and they want to put almost the same amount of information as the ones over here. So I really do understand the struggle of being a designer on a newspaper staff. We also need to remember where our ads appear, the newspaper, and the newspaper page can be very busy. All of the ads that you're creating are competing for attention. And if you are on a small staff, you might be designing every single ad on that page, and you want every single ad to stand out for the businesses. And that's a really tough job. So I want to go over some design basics, some things to keep in mind when we're designing to create ads that work. Thinking about the very simple goals of any ad is a good way to stay focused on what you want to create. So The very first number one goal is to attract attention. And in the simplest form, that means the look here part of the ad that's going to jump out at the reader. The best way to attract that attention is with an image and copy. So using an eye-catching image and a strong headline that work well together will get attention, and it's going to result in quick comprehension of what the ad is trying to communicate, which is very important because you really have a limited amount of time to draw readers' attention and to get them to spend time reading the ad. So in this example, I have a shamrock border art indicating St. Patrick's Day, and it's designed in an invitation style. And then we have that strong headline there, time to party. So the image and the headline quickly convey what the ad is about without reading any additional information. You can safely assume that this ad is for a St. Patrick's Day event. In these next examples, I took away one of those two main elements. So in the first example, I took away the art. And even still with that strong headline, it's going to take a reader a little bit more time to figure out what the ad is communicating. In this second example, I have the art back in, but I reduced that strong headline. I actually used a longer headline, this subhead here, and then I had to reduce the type size even to fit in that longer headline. So again, it's going to just take a little bit more time and from the reader to figure out what this ad is for. But then here you can, with the image and copy working together in the original version, a reader is going to quickly understand the purpose of the ad and then decide if they want to read more. The second goal for any ad is to communicate a benefit. Why is this ad important to me as a consumer? This can be a sale, 50% off, a service for your home or your car, or in the example that I'm using, it's the event details. So the benefit in this ad example are the special offerings during the event, green pitchers, bands, contests, and special foods that are offered. So there's a party and the benefits are the specials that will be available during the event. And the final simple main goal of any ad is to get the consumer to act. This can be done with a limited time offer or while supplies last, or in the example that I'm using, it's to tell the reader how long the event is going on. It is all weekend, but that's still a limited amount of time. There's also showing that there's no cover, and it is showing the social media icons to get the consumer to maybe check out more information about the business on their social media. So those are the three main goals of any ad to keep in mind when you're creating your ads. Is the ad going to attract attention? Is there a benefit to the consumer? And how do we want the consumer to act on the ad? I am going to get a little bit deeper into the elements of good ad design, but I'm still going to keep it pretty simple. I want everyone on this webinar, or whoever's watching it later, including salespeople and publishers, to really understand the basics so you have the knowledge of why an ad will be effective for your clients. So to grab the reader's attention and showcase the business's personality, you want to think about the images you choose. You want to create that standout, clear message, and you want to choose fonts that are going to match the business and the feel of the ad you're creating. Next, you're going to be directing the reader through the information. So we'll need to think about the eye flow of the ad, the text hierarchy, and the crucial white space that's needed to break up the information. And finally, like before, you want to think about how you want the consumer to respond to the ad. What action should they take after seeing it? So image first. An image is worth 1,000 words. Using eye-catching and appropriate images will help get your ad's message across faster than text alone. It takes the human brain just 13 milliseconds to process an image, which is 60,000 times faster than text. Images can also create a stronger emotional response, which in turn is going to build a stronger memory of what is seen. So the use of image and text that work together will create quicker, almost immediate comprehension of what the ad is trying to communicate. So in this example that I'm showing, the image is a lawn. The ad is for a lawn care company. The headline says free lawn care estimate. The image and the copy are helping each other to get that quick comprehension. But if I switch that image to this man running, which does actually play off of the subhead text of Take Back Your Weekends, the ad becomes a little bit harder to comprehend. You're not going to get the idea as quick. You see a man running, but this is for a lawn care company. The reader is just going to have to work a little bit harder to figure out what the ad is communicating, and you really want that very quick comprehension of ads on your ad. With that image, you want a clear message. What is the purpose of the ad? What information can be given right in the headline? In this example, the purpose of the ad is the headline. It is a leprechaun trap workshop. The images match the purpose of the ad, and following the headline, you have the date, the time, the price, and a way to get tickets. So this message is very clear. The image and the text are working together. Some additional examples here. We have your local CBD superstore. We have a barber shop that has barbershop with the subhead cuts, shaves, and trims. These two ads are very clear and very straightforward. It's essentially the type of business is the headline, and the images match exactly what the ad is for. But in this third example, the headline is a little bit catchier, peace of mind whether or not, but it's still clear and makes sense for the advertiser. You definitely don't always need or want your headline to be so specific to the ad where it is the name of the business essentially in the headline. Clear and catchy works very well. Humor in advertising is very popular because it is very effective. Something funny makes us feel good. It creates that emotional response, which increases your memory's recall. Also, things that are funny or clever are more likely to be shared and are going to result in greater reach. I know I share lots of funny things with my friends, so it's really that word of mouth and sharing that's going to help with the reach of these ads. So here are a few examples of some clever and funny headlines and ads that we have. So your St. Patrick's Day after party, for an ad for the day after St. Patrick's Day brunch. We have take a timeout from adulting. So that plays on, timeout for the sports event or, a parent giving their kid a timeout. We have find your Zenergy, which is a cute little pun. We have a funny ad here with the ears bitten off of a chocolate bunny for a hearing aid center. And then we have this fun pun of drink happy thoughts. We have tons of ads on MCC that you can just use to browse through for copy ideas. We have lots of headline ideas, and we also have all of this additional information for various types of advertisers. So you might find something on one of our ads, a copy for an idea that you might want to present to one of your advertisers and say, how about you start a wine club? So just really look through all of our ads for copy ideas. There's tons in there. And the final ad design element that helps with that quick comprehension is the font. Fonts can really add personality and style to your ad, but they should always be legible, work well with the image and copy, and represent the advertiser. A playful, handwritten font isn't going to make sense for a financial advisor. just like a traditional serif font wouldn't work well for a kid's birthday party venue. So, those script and decorative fonts, they add personality, but they should be used sparingly and only when it works for the ad and the advertiser. Try to use a minimal amount of fonts in your ad, maybe 2, 3 max if it's a larger ad. Instead, you can choose fonts that have many styles within the font family. So you have a thin version, an italic version, and then a bold or a black version. And with that, you can create variation without adding more fonts. And finally, avoid using all caps for large blocks of text. It's visually monotonous and it's tiring to read. Caps really should only be used to emphasize or stress the words that you really want to stand out. In this example, I chose 2 fonts. So I have the sans serif font ASAP, and I used it in 4 different styles. So you can see here it's in semi-bold. Here I have it in regular. This is bold, and then this is italics down here. And I've also used the decorative font Amatic. So this handwritten font I thought worked well with the headline, all of the ingredients for, giving the feel of a recipe card. And then the sans serif font kept everything else very clear and legible. The kitchen image shown in this ad works with this font because it's a cute, colorful kitchen shot. If the photo provided or the photo that you're using was more traditional or like an elegant kitchen, the playfulness of that handwritten font probably wouldn't have worked as well. So always take into account the images provided and the copy when you are choosing the fonts you're going to use in your ad. Here are a few ad examples using sans serif, serif, and decorative fonts. So the first example I have here uses a sans serif font. This font is modern, it's trendy, it works well with the trendy looking dog in a sweater and glasses, and it's also bold enough to be used as reverse type on this orange background. The second ad uses a serif font. Serif fonts tend to have an older feel. They're more traditional and they can give you a sense of trust in the advertiser. So this works well for this veterinarian who's advertising their knowledge of caring for older pets. You want to have that trust and feel confident in this business. It's not really, the time to use a playful font. Italics can be really great. Serif fonts can be really great for their use of italics. Oftentimes, serif fonts have really beautiful scripty italics, so you can use that to kind of vary the text within the ad using a serif font. And the last example uses a handwritten font, and it really adds personality to this kind of pet bio for an animal rescue ad idea. It's only used in a couple of places. And it just adds that little bit of cuteness, like a pet is really introducing themselves. And I thought the font also worked well with the ad style or the art style that is used in the ad. Beginning in 2023, we started exclusively using Google Fonts in all of our ad templates. They are free fonts for anyone to use. And in our ad package download, starting with ads in early 2023, you'll receive a PDF showing the fonts that are used, and they're linkable to download the fonts right on the Google Fonts website. And there's also instructions if you need help installing the fonts. So if you browse on the Google Fonts website, there are filters that show trending fonts, the most popular fonts, and the newest. I like to check these regularly, and it's really fun to see what's trending and what's new. And I've noticed consistently that the sans serif fonts are staying top of the trending list. I just grabbed these screenshots a couple of days ago, and I think I had to scroll down to maybe like the 30th font before I saw a serif font within the trending styles. And it's also fun to check out the newest font styles. Currently, the newest ones are very, dimensional. There's outlines, there's textures. Obviously, these fonts should be used minimally because they're very stylized. Just because they're new and shiny doesn't mean they're going to make great choices. But it's really fun to check them out and see what's going on in the font world and what people are using. So now that we've attracted the attention and established the ad style with the image, the headline, and the fonts, we want to move on to work the reader through the ad information. And this is the iFlow. It's how you visually direct the reader through the ad using text size and image direction to subconsciously guide the reader. Typically, people start in the upper left corner when they read. We read left to right and top to bottom. So after you capture your reader's attention in this upper left-hand corner with an image and headline, the importance of copy should flow downward. This line follows the most important text, the headline, then the sale information, and then it goes down to the advertiser. If the reader wants to learn more information, this is where they might veer off of that path to find the additional details. So this is where the least important text should go on this ad. It's that bonus additional text if they keep reading. So to help with this iFlow, you should really think about your image as well. So the way that this arm is coming in and the hand is pushing down, it's almost like you immediately go down there and start reading. So that's really the iFlow of your ad. If this image was pointing in the opposite direction, you would have a conflicting iFlow. The text hierarchy here wants you to move over here, but the arm and the hand is pushing you down to this area, which is where your least important information is. So really think about the angles of the images that you're using and just look at it and see where your eye naturally wants to go when you're thinking about how you want to lay out your ad. If you're given an image that you have to use, think about where you want the important text to go based on the direction of that image. So the text hierarchy, which I just mentioned, is very powerful, even without an image directing you to the text. So I assume if everyone had a second to read this graphic, I assume that you read it as the designer intended. So you read this first, then you read this, then this one, and then this one. The first time I saw this graphic, I thought, oh man, they got me. That's exactly what I did. But it isn't they got you. It is just really the power of the text placement and the size. The size and style of the font you use will subconsciously guide the reader as you want them to be guided. I pulled this ad example from a local newspaper because I think with some better text hierarchy, we can move the reader through the ad a little easier. As is, most of the text is about the same size, so I'm not really sure where I should start. If I dive right in, the first thing I want to look at is this lawnmower special, and then I go to this price because that's nice and big, but then the color of it is kind of making me want to, jump up here to this we deliver section. Then I really need to work as a reader to jump back down to this section, and then the name of the business is up here, and then the business address and hours are down here. So there's a lot of jumping. It's not easy to take in the information. So I wanted to tackle this ad to see if I could use text hierarchy to make the ad flow a little bit better. So I did a redesign of the ad to show how to break up the text in a hierarchy of importance. So I just grabbed this ad. I have no idea what the advertiser wanted to be the most important, and I can only assume that the advertiser said everything is important. So that makes it really hard on the designer. So I just decided to go with whatever I wanted to be the most important. And I went with this lawnmower special because it's a special. I thought maybe, this could be the main focus of the ad. So using that information in this upper left corner, I have the lawnmower special, and then I have the price nice and large because a price, a percentage off, a sale, those are really great attention grabbers to a reader. And then from there, I'm working down using variable text size to get the reader to move down this way. And you can read these headings and then decide if you want to learn more based on these headings. It also seemed like selling propane year-round was important in this ad. So I added a bit of a call out near the name of the business so that, that is going to pop out as well. And actually, after I've been looking at this ad for a little while now, I was thinking maybe we could pull some of that yellow and add some yellow in here, either the bubble or the text. That'll make it stand out even more. So I put, I have the old ad on the page, and then I put this redesigned one on the page. And I think it just really stands out a little bit more. There's a clear one focus that is being shown there. And then the reader can decide if they want to read more. The last element in guiding a reader through your ad is that crucial white space. It's the breathing room in an ad. And I chose this ad as a template, this template as an example, because there's a lot of text without a clear importance factor. Of course, the headline is important, but then you have these two facts that are equally important. So you don't necessarily want one to be bigger or bolder than the other one. So in that case, when you have these kind of chunks of text that are of equal importance, you use some white space to break that up. So you can see here, there's about 15 points between the text and the outer edge of the ad. And then I have those two chunks of white space to break up the large block of text. If I take that white space away by making the text larger because, hey, there's more room in the ad, let's just make everything bigger. So, bigger is going to be more attention grabbing. Now everything seems a bit overwhelming. There's no break for the eye when reading through this pretty text-heavy ad. If I drop both of these on a busy newspaper page, you can see that the one with no white space, it sort of bleeds into the text that's around it. In this one, there's some space. It seems a little bit more approachable. You might only want to read one bit of the ad, and then you can stop if you're not interested. In this one, it feels like if you start reading, you're in it. There's a lot of text there. Do I want to even start? So having that white space and breathing room just makes the ad seem a little bit more approachable. I want to show this newspaper spread because I do see a lot of white space in the ads. You can see this electrical contractor. There's a good amount of space in there. This basement guru guy, there's a lot of white space there. And here, this main care energy ad, there's a good amount of white space as well. But the white space that stands out the most to me is this ad here. And white space does not have to be white. It's really that blank space where it's not, image or text. So I really like this, and it stood out to me because the information wasn't running all the way to the edges. There is a clearly defined space that this ad is occupying. It feels like it is owning that space. So when you're reading this ad, you are in this ad. as opposed to these ads over here, where you start reading this important information and so close to the edge, your eye might, drift over into this ad. Same over here. It's getting so close to the edge that you might end up now reading this ad. So having that blank space, that clearly defined space of your ad's information, you really own that space. And when someone's in it, they are just reading that ad and their eye is not wandering. So the last element of a well-designed ad is one that gets the consumer to take action. You need to tell the reader how you want them to respond to the ad. And in doing so, you can then track the response or the ROI from the ad. So here are a few examples of how you can get a trackable response. In this first ad, they're requesting a call. So advertiser can, track if they've gotten more calls, if they're scheduling more free estimates. In this ad down here, a coupon is very trackable, especially if your publication is the only one that this particular ad is going to run in. Then the business will know how many people saw that ad, clipped the coupon, and then came in. And then finally, we have the trackable QR code. QR codes are really, I want to say, making a comeback, because I think, I don't know how many years ago when they first were coming out, people didn't take to them very well, but they are coming back and we see them everywhere now. And it's great. It's so convenient for the consumer. They just scan the QR code. They don't have to type in a website or do a search for the restaurant. They just scan the code. They can leave that tab open, add it to the 100 of tabs open on their internet, on their phone, and look at it later. And then, of course, the business can track how many people scanned that unique QR code from your newspaper. So it's really great for the consumer and for the business. So that was all the design tips I had, and things to, really think about, having a focus, having a clear message, and, directing the reader through the ad how you want them to. I do want to talk a bit about using print, web, and social media together, and to think about it when you're designing your ads. In current times, I think it's best to assume the possibility of selling an ad package, including print and web, is very likely. Web ads are becoming increasingly popular, even with these small businesses. So when you start a design for a new advertiser, think ahead about how the ad might translate into a web ad. So choose a style right from the start, an image and font that is going to work well in both print and the web. And that way you're creating a consistent look for the ads, which will help, with some branding for a small business. Really also try to understand what the main message will be, because when you go from print, even if it's a small ad to start, when you get to the web size space, it's even smaller. So you want to have that clear main message. And then going hand in hand now with online advertising and social media. So your newspaper, if you are promoting an event, a holiday, or special on your social media, think about ways that you can tag your advertisers as, an additional perk or bonus to maybe get a little bit more traffic to their businesses. So here we have daily specials. Maybe on Mondays, your newspaper can do, the best lunch specials on a Monday, and then tag all of your restaurants who do have, lunch specials on Mondays. So just another bonus that you can think about when you're presenting an ad package. So here's just a couple of examples. So we design web ad templates as well to go with our print templates. So in this first one, we have an animal hospital. You can see the image works well in all of the web and mobile sizes. The main message is this 24-hour emergency care. So that is standing out well in all of the other sizes. And then we also provide social media ideas, posts that you can use to then tag these, that type of advertiser. So here we just have a fun fact: 66% of US households own a pet. So you can post that and then tag all of your advertisers in the pet industry. A second example here, we have an ad for a cooking school inviting people to whip up a new skill. Again, the image is working in all of the formats. Something to think about when designing web ads is that it's best to avoid script fonts. I do have a script font here, but it is large enough in the space and it's bold enough to work. But really think about, using, a serif italic font or a really elegant scripty font. If that's your main headline, it might not translate well onto a small web ad. The web ads here are also, asking people you would click there to learn more. So that clickable data that you can give to your advertisers is crucial. And when I was looking at this package, I realized that a QR code would work really well on this type of ad to register online. So think about using those QR codes and getting that clickable, trackable data to give to your advertisers. And then the social media post I have paired here is just one about research showing hobbies help reduce stress, depression, and anxiety. So this would be a great post to then tag all of your businesses who offer classes on different skills. So that was a lot of information, and I hope these design tips are useful and gave you some things to think about as you're creating effective ads for your local businesses. I am now going to turn it over to Daryl.
Thanks, Laura. Thanks so much. And wow, that's some really, really great stuff. Great tips, a fantastic group of ad templates, and some amazing copywriting. Again, as Laura mentioned, and just a reminder, we have thousands of ads, and we're told when we're traveling at conferences, designers and ad managers tell us that they look to our ad templates not only for design, but for copywriting inspiration as well. So something to keep in mind. Since Laura left off with print and digital advertising, we're going to focus a bit more on that. Studies show us that advertisers have a very small window to capture a reader's attention. 10 seconds for a print ad, and even less for a digital ad. 3 seconds. Combining the two formats can lead to greater and more effective penetration for advertisers. Print ads build trust, for sure. While print ads in newspapers and magazines inspire trust, up to 82% for some respondents, some digital platforms have come under fire for misleading information. Some pop-ups on social media get a bad rep. But capturing the dynamic of using both platforms can be a huge advantage for advertisers. While print ads have trust, digital ads have reach, allowing for businesses to reach a wider audience, and also for their ability to study real-time analytics, as Laura indicated, seeing how well the ads work immediately. This then allows for the ability to make adjustments in sales messaging moving forward. Print and digital ads certainly complement each other. With print and digital combos, digital content appeals and stimulates to quick decision-making factors in your brain, while print engages emotional responses, as shown earlier by Laura. Companies using both mediums can trigger different responses and enhance consumer engagement and recall. Some recent studies have shown that digital advertising revenue was up in 2023 and on track to increase in 2024. This bodes well for selling print, digital, and social together. And finally, some tips for combining and selling print and digital advertising. Know your target market using all of the tactics that Laura had described in her presentation. Secondly, brand recognition across all platforms. Print and digital allows for optimal messaging when combined. And finally, the ability to track performance with clicks or QR codes. In fact, you can hold your phone up to the QR code here to download this entire presentation, which I think is pretty cool. So we want to really quickly just have a review of some new 2024 features in our Metro Search book before I turn it over to Bethany to show you how to find everything. Web ads for every single print ad we do, making it easy to sell print and digital ad combos. We have a sales idea of the week, a unique saleable concept every week of the year. That's 52 sales ideas throughout 2024 to help you generate local ad revenue. And Metro's email marketing tools, e-cards, and email formats to help you reach out to local advertisers to highlight upcoming sales opportunities. Our easy-to-use backgrounds are available in a variety of sizes for print and online use. And more headings than ever before. Sales and event headings with and without dates, along with some Spanish and French headings. We offer an amazing variety for your use. Now, I'll turn it over to Bethany for a quick look at how to locate these features on Metro's site.
Thanks, Daryl and Laura. This is so much great information that I think maybe even I can design a good-looking ad now. Laura and Daryl and our whole creative team have contributed thousands of wonderful ads to the Metro services. So if you're in sales and you won't actually be creating ads yourself, but you need creative ideas to present to your advertiser, if you're a designer and looking for inspiration or somewhere to start, you'll find tons and tons of ads on our website. So I'm going to show you where to find them and some of the other ideas that Laura and Daryl mentioned too. It's going to be a real quick overview. So if you want more detailed training, you can always reach out to us and we can schedule that. So first off is the search book. So you'll find that in the top left-hand corner of the website up here. And there's one for each of our main services. You can look at any of the search books, but you'll only be able to download from the services that you're subscribing to. And these are the easiest way to see what's new every month. Just click and flip through it. You've got the money makers and the calendar right up front to give you the hot topics. So this makes a great sales planning tool to plan out what businesses you're going to go after for the month. And as you're just flipping through it, you've got the marketing e-card that Daryl mentioned, event headings, social posts, photos, ad layouts, and the sales events or the sales ideas of the week you're going to find in here too. Each one has multiple pages and the pages are all clickable. So you can click any page and it'll open right up in MCC in the Creative Library. So you can download the content or print out previews right from there. Okay, we are updating content daily. So this search book is a culmination of everything that's gone up to MCC over the past month. So there's going to be a new search book every month and we're always working ahead. So this is the March search book and you've got content for Easter in here. So you've got plenty of time for planning. And as I mentioned, the search or the pages are clickable. So you can click any page and you're immediately in the Creative Library. So right from here, you can download the content or sorry, my hovers are all shaky there. You can download the content or you can print out a preview to take to an advertiser. So before I go into finding other things in MCC, I'm going to jump up here for the marketing e-cards. You can find all of them under the sales menu. Just go to custom e-cards. And we have a whole variety of different things you can filter. You can click on the card that you want, and you've got this easy form that you can put in your information. You can customize the message if you want. And then this can go right into an email to your local businesses. These are also available to download as JPEGs or Quark or InDesign documents if you wanted to make any tweaks to them. All right, so back to the Creative Library. So this workshop was all about creating ads. So I'm going to show you how to find those. Right over here on the left under search source, select spec ads and section covers. And you've got all kinds of filters here that you can use to narrow down your search. It defaults to print ads, but you can select print ads that have matching web and mobile. You can select just the web and mobile ads if you want, and then you can download or print out a preview. So everything you see with our ads is included in the downloaded package as InDesign or Quark. You can use it with as much or as little customization as you want. And we even, like they said, we're using Google fonts, so they're free. So you have easy access to the fonts as well. Now, if you're looking for images to put in your ads, just switch the search source to images. You can even do both at once if you want on a split screen. And again, you have lots of filters. The image type filter is probably the most useful here. So you can look for all those individual design elements like backgrounds, borders, headings, photos. And this is also where you're going to find all those ready-made social media posts. Just select social media from the image type menu, and you've got a ton there to choose from in the different sizes for Facebook, Instagram, and X. So that is finding ads and images in a really small nutshell. Again, let us know if you want more detailed training. So a couple more things to point out. We send a lot of emails. We know we send a lot of emails, but that's because we have so many great ideas that we want to share with you to help you generate more revenue. So under the support menu, if you happen to miss any, and make sure that you're set up to get them. But you can always find them under email ideas and communications. And we've got the most recent. And if you're looking for those sales ideas, they're under what's new this week. So you can find those there. Also under support, feedback and requests. If you didn't know, we take requests. If you have images, ad ideas, editorial stories that you need, let us know. And you're not going to get that from most other companies out there. So definitely send us your requests. We love to get those. You can check out upcoming webinars or watch any of the previous recorded ones on the live training webinar page. And the video tutorial page has tons of video tutorials, so you can learn at your own pace or just go back and review certain things. And of course, the contact us if you have any questions, or if you need a password, or if you're sharing someone else's password, get in touch with us so you can get your own. Or if you want to set up training, also reach out. You can email us or call us, and we're happy to schedule training for you. And I know at the beginning, before we started, as people were joining, I mentioned, any designers out there that have some kick-ass ads of your own that you want to share, we'd love to see those. We do have a forum up here at the top. So you can come in here and go to the creative space, and we'd love it if you shared things with us and other customers to give everybody inspiration, or you can email them to us, if you don't want to put them on the forum, but that's an option for you there. All right, and I think that just about covers everything for my part, unless Daryl or Laura, you have anything else to add? Otherwise, we can open it up to questions.
No, yeah, let's definitely open up the chat and see if anyone has any questions or examples or wants to talk about. I saw that Doug chimed in at one point. Hi, Doug. A great difference in the landscape ads that you had done, Laura. So a compliment on those. I love them too, Doug. They were great.
Anyone else?
While we're waiting, if anyone, does have anything to say, but always feel free to contact us directly with questions or image requests or text requests, anything that we can help you with. We are at your service.
And just a reminder that the QR code that Daryl brought up on one of the previous slides, it's right here on this slide too. So if you wanted to zap it with your phone and download the whole presentation, you can do that right from here. No questions? I guess you You nailed it all, Laura and Daryl.
Exactly.
Sorry, I just talked a really long time.
About good stuff.
That was great. And I just downloaded this entire presentation and it's perfectly mobile responsive and it looks gorgeous and a great thing to study.
Well, there's a question about Google Fonts. Are the Google Fonts open type fonts and are they easily managed within Connect Fonts or a similar management program?
They are open type fonts. I do not know Connect fonts, but within the ad package download, our one of our IT guys he put together a whole package with instructions. So it could be, some information in there to help you. They're easily managed in a couple of different font management systems that I know. I just am not familiar with that one. I'm sure they would be though, because the Google free fonts, they want, everyone to be able to use these. So I would imagine they are. So you can check out the instructions that we have within the ad package, or we can, email you just that PDF if you want, and help you if they're not working for you. I'm glad that we energize people to create better ads. I feel like when I was looking for examples and things to put into the webinar, when I see a lot of ads that, just don't have that focus, really think about what the main message of the ad is. And I know it is difficult when you're creating lots of ads for lots of different businesses. And you essentially have all these different bosses from all these different businesses who, want what they want, but just trying to steer the business owners in a way to have their ad be more effective and more noticeable by having that one main focus. And you can put all the rest of that information in there. Use the text hierarchy, get it in there, but the important information nice and large. I think is really helpful in grabbing attention.
Laura, it's funny. I thought of you the other day. I live in New York City and when I walk around, I see a lot of ads up on walls or telephone poles. And I read about a guy online, a design student, who was going around and taking down ads and redesigning them and putting them back up. And he was, I guess looking for design work, and I think he got a great job. But I thought, wow,
Nice.
what an interesting thing to do. And some of them were great, much like Laura's. So I thought that was interesting.
Nice. I really, really like a design challenge.
I don't see any other questions coming through.
Okay.
If you think if anyone thinks of any, after we're done here, our contact information is here on this slide. So get that QR code and we will post this too. The presentation will go out along with the recording tomorrow and they'll be on our website. So you can always reach out to us for, with questions, if you need passwords for our website or additional training, we are available and here to help you. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you all
everyone.
so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.